Talking with Coach Jackson. Coach, first career win as a head football coach comes on your very first game played. Talk about how that feels, man.
It feels great, man. I couldn't ask for anything better, but except for the limited turnovers. We had too many turnovers at the time, but a win is a win, especially against a good football team like Kansas City.
All right, Coach. Well, the win put you guys on the map in 1A. Sort of talk about the game and sort of how it unfolded for you.
Well, in the beginning, we jumped on them. We started out the game on the second play of the game. Devontae Turner, my running back, he scored, ran about a 70-yard, 69, 70-yard run, and that set the tone for us the rest of the game. But they Kansas City, as we knew they would, they came right back the next drive and they scored, and we had a little lull in between right there, and then we started getting the ball moving. We started driving, and then we scored again for halftime, and it was 12-7 at half. And, we had a little momentum. We come out. Seemed like the third quarter we just fell apart. I mean, we had three turnovers in the third quarter. We threw them a touchdown. Actually, they ran one back and they went up 14-12. And then we come back and fumbled again. But our defense held strong all night. The defense, we put them in some bad situations, but they bailed us out all night. And offense got to rolling. Our offense kept rolling. It just we stopped ourselves with those fumbles, little petty fumbles and little mishaps. So we were up 19-14 at half. As bad as we played in the third quarter, which was a blessing there by itself. And in the fourth quarter, we went tit for tat, and they jumped up, they scored. It went up 20-19, and then we had to get in, and we come back. We drove. We put a little trick play in, and where we threw a toss and we threw a pass to a freshman, nonetheless, for Keenan Nicholson, and he caught it, and we went up. That pretty much sealed the game. It was 26-20 then, and the icing on the cake was Desmond Butler. He came around the end and he put us up 32-20. And our defense let up a little bit at the end. We let a kickoff get back, and they scored the last touchdown, and we nailed it down. And 32-27 final score.
All right, Coach. Well, that's going to be one thing you really focus on. Of course, you being a defensive guy coming from Northwest Texas Tech and also the Bruce program as well. Very strong defensive background there. Talk about just some of the things you want to tighten on next week on the defensive side.
On the defensive side, well, cornerbacks had a few mental lapses, and I'm a DB at heart, and that kind of tugged at me. They looking in the backfield, and that's a pet peeve of mine. You don't look in the backfield. If you got a man to man, that's what you need to handle. And my linebackers, they taking false steps, and my D line and my O line, they play extremely well. So if my linebackers and DBs come on, we'll get better. But that's a progress over the course of the year, and adjusting to what we're doing, and we'll simplify it, and we'll get things correct.
All right, Coach. Offensively, how did you feel after the game, and where you feel like you can go from there?
I feel pretty good offensively. Besides the turnovers in the second half, we stung ourselves on one drive. They got a turnover on down. And we tried a field goal try, and we failed to get it off. So that kind of bothered me a little bit there. But offensively, I feel like we can drive the ball on anybody. I don't. I just think we just got a mindset to go and we go. And last year we were our own worst enemy by making those turnovers. But this year we battled back and we overcome those turnovers.
All right, Coach. We'll talk about some names sort of stood out, maybe some that you weren't expected to stood out, sort of come up and surprise you.
Well, the one right off top, Devontae Turner, which didn't surprise me. He wants the ball in pressure situation. He's my senior. He's running back, and he's gonna step up and he's gonna be big for me this year. And I expected that he had 9 carries for 127 yards and a touchdown. So I expect that all year from him. And Desmond Butler, he's probably the fastest guy I got out. And he had about 80 yards rushing the other night. And he put the icing on the cake at the end of the game. And for Keenan Nicholson, and that was a real big surprise. But it kind of was and kind of wasn't. He worked hard all summer. He been in all summer. And he actually started as a ninth grader at receiver. So, I mean, he came up big and made a big play at a big time. And Jimmy Palmer Lee, he's real good for me. He's going to play a different spot. You'll see Jimmy line up all over the field for him. And he can be dangerous. He's quick as a cat, and he's hard to handle.
All right, Coach. Well, enjoyed the big win now, but now you got another big game coming up now with rival Water Valley, or I should say county foe and rival Water Valley. Talk about getting ready for DC Logan and crew.
Yeah, DC is always a handful. He proved that against everybody he played last year. So we got to put our thumb on DC. We have to hit him, and we have to exploit any weakness if they have any. But they don't have any weakness when they play us because they get up for that game. And we're going to be up and we're going to be ready for it. What we need to establish ourselves on the offensive defensive line. And I think we will. I got some senior leadership in Antonio Moore as senior and Billy Phillips that's going to establish that and set the tone for them.
All right, Coach. Well, I know Wednesday kind of taking it a little easy now, church night, and I know tomorrow, man, you can be fired up, ready to go for Friday night. So good luck, man, and we'll see you on down the line.
All right, appreciate it.